quite powerful conscripts too.
Okay, so the match will start in 3 minutes. Gives us a little bit of a time to look around. So we'll have the allies in the southern part of the map. And the Axis in the northern side of the map. Now, Fields of Vinenkendong, I believe, is a community map that was added to the rotation, but it might also be made by Relic. I'm not actually sure.
I think it was a community map, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the real hotspots of Winnekendong fields are mainly the fuel on the right.
Yeah, but with the old lumberyard?
Excuse me?
Yeah, over by the old lumberyard. As you can see, that's a stockpile of lumber in the area.
Okay.
That's what the fuel point is like in a lumberyard. And the other fuel is over by Destroyed Stook, by a farm.
Yes. Destroyed Stook kinda lets the player coming from the south having kind of an advantage to take it.
Oh yeah,
but
the one on the right is a little bit harder to get to, I think. But there's a tractor if one can get to it. We'll need to see what occurs. There's also the Crash Stook in the center, which will provide some heavy cover for some people, but generally people try to avoid the center because it's mostly a killing field. There's barely any cover out there. And with barely any cover, people will not want to go out there, because as people who are watching probably know, in Spearheads, lethality is really high.
Yep, time to go very low. That's what makes it actually interesting. Even though automatic weapons are really, really powerful. when it comes to close quarters, I literally at some point had a Fallschirmjäger squad with 4 FG-42s, and they melted, but literally melted a squad. They went close range. Even if it was in USF, they didn't have time to fire. The model just dropped in less than a second.
Yeah, that sounds like the power of the FG-42 right there. The FG-42 is a pretty potent weapon at all ranges, as I believe. I think it might be a little bit overtuned, but it should technically have the flaw of only having 20 rounds before it has to reload.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty long reload as it's a battle rifle.
Yeah. You actually have to see them actually grab the magazine, toss it out, and put a new one in. I believe it takes about 5 to 6 seconds for them to reload the FG-42. So it is a substantial amount of time.
It's odd, I'm just seeing it right now, but as you see, the manpower resources at the beginning are quite different for each faction.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see that the allies are getting a little bit more out of their manpower at the start.
Yes. Wehrmacht is superior, but SS it's quite low.
Oh yeah, but I think that's very much intentional. And now it should be starting shortly. It should just have this issue where it has to catch up briefly, which we've noticed before in the previous ones. So we just give it a little bit. And hopefully it will sort itself out. It has before, anyway.
I think you can just... At some point you can pause and play. Oh, I can follow camera now, so it should be beginning soon.
Yeah, there we go. Now it's moving. Okay, let's go through what the allies are going to be doing. We're seeing a conscript out from Tomato Juice immediately, and he's gone for rifle. Ooh, fascinating choice. We might see a lot of conscripts on the field then.
Oh, yes. Please do.
And Smassel has actually gone, speaking of Fallschirmjägers, he's gone for Fallschirmjäger Division.
Ghost Steppers went for Commandos for British, and finally Captain Airstrike took Mechanized Tactics.
Mechanized is always a very good one for early game, I found, especially if you can get the early half-tracks out. We can also see that he's actually going for the Grenadiers rather than the Storm Grenadiers, which is sometimes useful because it can give you a little bit more map presence early on.
The problem with using mechanized on this kind of adversary, I think, is actually that both of the faction have PTRS or anti-tank rifle, which might quickly put a stop to those rushes.
Oh, definitely. Especially if the allies actually build around it. We also see Tomato Juice going straight for Fontoviki rather than just full-on conscripts as rifle.
Interesting, yes.
He does get extra rifle grenades if he wants to upgrade it as rifle division, so that's actually a useful upgrade. Especially because the rifle grenade actually fires the Russian-style rifle grenade and not the German one, so it's a lot more powerful.
So, an engagement is beginning on the west side. Yes, it's west side. So the Soviets are engaging Smassel Pioneer, but Grenadiers are likely to arrive soon.
Oh, definitely. We also see like the British are engaging the SS Grenadiers over by the lumber yard on the other flank. We also have some Storm Grenadiers coming out. Now, the unique thing about the Storm Grenadiers, because he's playing as mechanized, is you can actually give them 2 MGs if you really want, which is actually quite underutilized, I think.
And one of MG with 100 rounds, which lets a lot of firepower.
Oh, we see great. Oh, very good grenade assault there. The Brits are going to have to evacuate there, I think. Those troops have had to get out of there, but he's not running. Oh, and those British troops are just all gone. Oh, that's a bloody mess right there.
It's got squads to back up, but didn't yet capture the munition and the last point.
But look, the Soviets are doing a little bit better so far against the Wehrmacht, but that might change unless the Soviets do move in. They have the men to do it.
It seems like they're trying to flank.
Yeah, von Savicki is going in. Now, the von Savicki will take up the fight to the German infantry much better, because these are actually fully trained troops, so they should not be underestimated. Now, we do have the SS setting up positions around the fuel point there now, so the British are going to have to think of something else. Soviets are securing the northern flank, though, but the Germans are moving behind the lines. But conscripts are in a position to flank them, so the Germans need to be a little bit careful with where they're standing.
Yes, they're gonna cut them off.
Oh,
very interesting.
We have Thompsons being armed on the rifle sections, which is technically not the worst thing, because I believe the Thompson is still decently good at range. He just has to hit.
Yes, but also Thompson does pretty short mags, only 20 round mags, I think.
Yes, but it does compensate that by being a very big bullet.
No, it's a 31, excuse me. There is some doctrines that get 20 rounds Thompsons.
Ah, right.
Oh, the Fallschirmjäger are getting surrounded.
Yeah, they have to get out of there. Fortunately for them, there's only one von Savicki. So there's only one unit that's really good at aiming right there. Looks like Vickers has been set up for the British. But I don't think that SS Grenadiers... Oh, that SS Grenadier might get away because the machine gun stopped being set up. But the Soviets are starting to overman the other flank here. Which is the advantage of playing Soviet rifle. He just gets a lot more manpower to work with. We do have some Fallschirm Division Jägers present. Not actual Fallschirmjägers, just Jägers. I know it's confusing.
Alright, let's quickly do that. Because my game overlay is coming. Ooh.
Oh, those conscripts gonna get mowed down, I think. Yeah, too much firepower there.
Yes, those Jägers ought to do a great deal in short ranges.
Oh yeah,
with their Gerber 43s.
Yeah, it's a unit I don't see utilized as often as they normally should be, I think.
Yes, well, now that I know that they got only semi-automatic weapons in close quarters, I always take them.
Oh, we also have a half-track on the other flank, and it's already causing issues for the British troops.
Yes.
Rifle Grenadier is going out, though. That's gonna make that thing draw back for a short while, I think.
Always advancing back because he knows the rifle grenades been used.
But there is another rifle section nearby. They need to be careful. Looks like we're gonna have another engagement with the Soviets and the Wehrmacht around the farm.
Oh. This front of Vicky are likely to kill those pioneers.
Yeah, but they have to get out of there. The Jägers are starting to open fire with their Gewehr 43s. Now, unique thing I've actually noticed that... oh, that grenade killed the Russians, actually. The unique thing I noticed that if you're playing as a Fallschirmjäger, the Grenadiers get access to scope Sturmgewehrs as a surprisingly potent upgrade. What do the Volksgrenadiers get access to? They get access to flamethrowers, I think. No, they get access to the MG34. So you can actually turn your Volksgrenadiers into a long-range static infantry. as a Fallschirmjäger.
Yes, you can just turn out your early infantry into some ground holding while your assault troops can go in and wipe the resistance.
Were some artillery being called in here by the Luftwaffe officer, but it only for him to retreat.
I think it's small artillery. This one is rather underwhelming.
It looks like it's just flag artillery.
Yes. We can see Ghost Steppers, British player, trying to dig in, building trenches.
He's probably waiting until he can get the commandos and do something else. I mean, you can already see that Captain Airstrike has noticed his enemy has gone for commando, so he's getting an Aufklar.
Ooh.
He wants to make
Very
sure.
smart.
He wants to make sure there's no sneaky things happening. No, so we have a lot more fun. So we also have an officer here for the Soviet Rifle Division. Gonna buff up all the Soviet troops nearby.
With the Commissar dropping a mortar strike.
No, it's not a commissar, it's a lieutenant, I think.
Oh no, yes. But it's actually
Oh, but here comes the half-track! Oh, and the Grenadiers inside are actually being out with LMG-42s and MT-34s. So that's gonna be 3 machine guns in that half-track. That's gonna be an exceptional amount of firepower in one little package.
Yeah, and unfortunately, neither of the players went for anti-tank rifle, but the T-70 is coming.
Yeah, the T-70 should do okay if it stays at range. Promise, I think that little truck
Also,
there.
if it lands a shot.
Oh, fortunately, the Grenadiers don't have Panzerfausts. Oh, but the anti-tank rifle grenade did actually hurt the engine of the T-70.
That's sad. I think he could have used a grenade out of the hatch, or does he have it? Oh, it doesn't. I always thought the T-70s have it.
Yeah, it's something else that gets it, I think. Oh, we also have the Jaegers now being armed with the MG-15. That's gonna make them a lot more lethal at long range.
Yes, and they can easily suppress conscripts to avoid any rush.
Now that T-70 will need repairs ASAP, I think. It could also be that Ghost Tepes might be planning for the French resistance, but I don't think that's going to be very useful. Because he's already set up a forward assembly, and that would give him access to the French resistance troops. But he's also getting a commando squad at the moment. The first of its kind. Looks like it's going to be an assault team. Yeah, well, the conscripts and the Jaegers are just having a little bit of a hold-down position going on.
So here comes oh, it's an assault team. First Commando Brigade team, so they're assault.
Indeed.
They can have 4 Thompsons.
Yeah, 4 Thompson with 30 rounds each. That's a devastating little thing.
Usually with those kind of doctrines, I go more for fire teams in the first place to get long-range firepower before assaulting. I know the fire teams for commandos have 2 brands, which can be rather powerful, especially when you can fire on the move.
You know, I'm mostly surprised he doesn't have access to the silent stun guns for them. But I suppose that's because it's an assault team, so... So we have artillery going in on the farm. Molotov going in on the Grenadiers. Oh, one of the Grenadiers caught fire. We have a Panzer F1. That's definitely going to be able to deal with the T-70.
Oh, T-70 is retreating. But now the Scope STG Grenadier is coming to trade shots.
Oh yeah, and that will definitely win out at long range, I think.
Oh, Peppers is crawling his commando squad here. Very smart, but the off-tower might.
Oh yeah, the Aufklar will definitely spot them shortly.
Soon spot them.
There's also a minefield late to cover the areas. I don't think the commanders can do much from that angle. It'll probably be much better for the commanders to get on the Soviet side and try to sneak up that flank. Oh, we have a CIS-3 gun.
He's using it for HE, trying to kill the Sturm Pioneer squad.
And Oh, good shot, but it didn't kill them. It looks like the commander's not going to do well here. The Germans are covering that little flank too much with double machine guns, those Storm Grenadiers.
Unfortunately, the Fallschirmjäger player has not yet done any of the elite Fallschirmjäger teams who reveals to be extremely efficient.
I believe they might be planning for something else, who's to say? That said, they might not think they need to use the Fallschirmjägers at the moment, so their resources are probably better used elsewhere.
I think, yeah, the Off Clara just spotted the commandos because they went off camouflage. So they tried to fire at them.
Lots of artillery going on both sides here. Hence everyone has to be careful, the Cis 3 does have good shots in that area. More flak artillery going in, the Soviets have dodged most of it by the looks of it though.
Oh, it's bringing in a rocket converter.
Oh, we also have a T-34 arriving for the Soviet Union.
Oh.
And the T-34 is a pretty competent tank that people don't give enough credit. It's surprisingly useful.
Yes. And quite cheap for actually its performance.
Yeah, like the Sherman, the T-34 is kind of the workhorse of the Allied factions, and it should not be underestimated just because it's cheap.
Yeah, and especially when they come before most of the Axis tank in terms of timing and resources. Even compared to a F1, especially for SS who can't afford really tanks before it's tier 3.
Oh yeah. Oh, looks like those sappers trying to attack those grenadiers, but that did not work. T-34 is going to push on the SS flank. That's actually a good choice, because the SS have nothing to stop it. Well, they have a Pack 40 moving. Oh, the command is going to try and move up. That's going to be very brave of them, but they're going to rethink that. Meanwhile, the F1 is pushing on the other flank, realizing that the T-34 is not there to face it.
Oh, so T-34 might come at post range. Oh no, it's rifle grenade.
Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Oh, and the double machine gun Storm Grenadiers are gone. Oh, that's painful. But the Germans have secured the other fuel at the same time, so hard to say who won out on that engagement. We also
but he's using Mthis to bombard. Oh, it's gonna make kills.
We're also seeing the unique Panzer Grenadiers for mechanized on the field, the 10th SS. A unit I also, again, very rarely see, despite them being really, really good.
Yeah, the M242 is pretty lethal, but until they get Panzer Shreks, they can't really engage any armored threats.
Yeah, they do have the
mechanized, actually.
True, but they do have the Panzerwurfmine, which operates more like a anti-tank grenade for the Soviets and the other allies.
The problem is that when the Soviets can use this grenade on pretty cheap squad, the SS cannot really afford that.
Oh yeah, definitely. That said, it's still a very good Panzer Grenadier squad and should not be underestimated. Oh, but they're being suppressed here by the Thompsons. Yeah, the Mad Minute has been activated by the British and it's working out, but the T-34 goes down.
So Smaster Recording just killed the T-34, he went to help his ally. The other field point is still contested by multiple Soviet forces.
The Soviets are definitely doing, well, the Allies in general, just doing a little bit better than I thought they would. It's actually looking like it's going to be a good fight. They're just trying to push up here, but the marksman inside that Trent will do too much. Oh, we have the T-70 flanking. Looking at shrapnel shot. Pinning down those grenadiers, force them to flee. We have a Lux arriving for the Waffen-SS.
Yeah, and there is actually no weapons no weapon close by to neutralize it. Maybe this 6-pounder gun will do something, but it might bounce.
It is an ambush, so if it gets a good shot, who's to say? The commandos, though, I don't think have been utilized correctly so far, but then again, it's very hard to utilize such sneaky units.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
And also T-34 coming up.
Oh, we also have more of the 10th SS coming in. It's good to see the 10th SS being utilized more frequently. I think thanks to the Kampfkraft Center, we're actually going to be able to see Germans use more elite infantry straight out the gate.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Because it's going to allow you to just get them veterancy immediately, and that means they can get their better equipment. T70 though is not sure what it'll do against the Lukes, because I think the Lukes can actually beat a T70.
I think that landing a good shot and rolling faster on the Lukes can make the T70 viable in this case, but it must be really close and really surprising.
Oh yeah. Looks like the Jaegers for the Luftwaffe is still doing a pretty good job. This Jaeger squad with the MG15 has actually gotten 25 kills.
Yeah, it's still not going for Fallschirmjäger, mostly going for only Grenadiers.
I guess
That's
you don't
odd.
you don't really need to get the Fallschirmjägers if you think you can handle with just Grenadiers, I suppose. Oh, and those
Oh,
Jaegers.
this grenade.
Oh, that might be that Jaeger. Yeah, he's gone. Oh, that's a big loss. I think now is the time that it might be an opportune moment to get Fallschirmjägers.
Yes, he lost quite the models and a pretty good squad. But he's got another squad coming up.
F-15 and Flamethrower being MG-15 and Flamethrower being grabbed by the Soviets. So now those Soviets have a little bit better equipment. T-70 is providing cover for the rifle section, but it did not do much. It did however force the Lukes to pull back. F-1 fighting T-34. T-34 needs to change his target. F-1 got a very good shot there.
Oh,
And the T-34 is down.
F1 has pretty good fire rate. Yes, 3 to 4 seconds of reload.
Oh, Panzerfaust on the AT gun, destroying it.
Oh, nasty.
But the Soviets are starting to get into some trouble. The British are not getting enough stuff, I think. Well, the British actually have a lot of stuff, it's just not being utilized, I think.
Yes, the British player has a lot of ammunition and fuel that he could use.
F1 is being shot by the Sisfrieda.
Oh, but he could blitzkrieg away.
Yep, and out there in the corner, they're gonna get shut down by the German troops.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Ooh, the Allies,
This blitzkrieg move saved the tank's life.
the Allies need to think of something else. They do still hold a good amount of the map, so the map is still looking somewhat even. The Germans are in a position they could cut off the fuel if they wanted. However, they're not doing it at the moment. I think they want a few more troops present before they attempt that. Still no Panzer, not Panzerjägers, still no Fallschirmjägers. Oh, we also see one of the 10 possessors being out with MP40s. A fascinating little decision. I'm personally always a big fan of the MP40.
So that's one of the rare mechanized squad. No, which one was it?
The 10 possessors Panzer Grenadiers.
I think not much. Oh, no, actually, lots of them get SMGs.
Yeah, but I'm actually a big fan of the MP40s. It's a shame that it's not as popular. A lot of people go for other weapons. I guess they just prefer the STG if they get access to it. People really like the Sturmgewehr. And that, speaking of Sturmgewehrs, that Grenadier squad is going to get in for a surprise here. Because that's a lot of Russians.
Yes.
And that's a big Grenadier
and
squad.
this veteran conscript have got the MG15 of the Jaeger.
Yeah, that's going to make them quite good at suppressive fire. But those Grenadiers might be in a good ambush position there, but nope, the Soviets going to throw a grenade over. Yeah, and that's going to make the Germans run away from that position. We also have some Fallschirmjägers arriving, an Angriffsgruppe, assault troop.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Those troops are pretty close range, but they're the FG-42 of the squad leader and the one they can get make them pretty powerful too.
Molotov killed the other Grenadier squad entirely. Ooh.
Oh, they're losing troops. The Fallschirmjäger is losing a lot of troops here.
Now the question is, what will the Angriffsgruppe be upgraded with? FD-42s or perhaps the Panzerschreck? Very hard to tell. Generally, the FD-42 is generally a must if you're using Fallschirmjägers, just because it's just such a good weapon. We do have the Panzer IV-H coming up though, so I think the Soviets might be in trouble.
Yes, I only got this gun ready.
They do have one T-34, but that will require a lot of luck. High explosive going in a machine gun in the center. Missed though. Oh, we do have a Cromwell coming for the British now.
Cromwell's ready to roll.
Lux is moving up towards the T-34. Not a good fight.
Yes, it was risky. Oh, but another squad. Oh god! Since this re-exploded, another Fallschirmjäger squad here.
Oh, yeah, now replacement grenadiers are being called in. These Germans are losing a lot of troops. That's not good for them in the long run, because the Allies are generally much better at recuperating their losses.
And if Commando gets in land mattresses, it might get nasty.
Oh, Pack 40, Pack 40 is covering the lumber yard just in the right amount of time. You also have some stormtroopers arriving, being armed entirely with Sturmgewehrs. That's going to make that squad exceptionally lethal.
Armor ready to move.
The British commandos are not doing the best they could. I personally think the commanders could probably have done a little bit better, the commando squad that is, by supporting and fighting on the Soviet flank. Because there's a lack of recon on the Wehrmacht side of the battlefield.
Grenadier squad is ready.
Although technically, I've not seen the recon squad of the SS being utilized in the front line for a bit. So it's a little bit hard to judge.
So recon squad of the German is still at base, but Lux is flanking the British defensive line. It seems like there is not real AT at range.
But I think the British gonna throw a thermos grenade.
Oh, they couldn't.
Yeah, I moved away. Oh, the
Lux is pretty fast to avoid.
Germans are doing a big push through the center here. Grenadiers and Fallschirmjägers. But I think that it's not the best attempt at an assault. Grenade going into the trench though. And the FT-42s are cutting them apart. But the Fallschirmjägers are taking heavy losses. That conscript with the MG-15 is still doing a great job.
The Germans still got the numbers though, the population is still pretty high for both players. The Soviets are the ones sustaining most of the losses.
Yeah, but the Soviets as rifle division can easily recuperate. Cromwell is now also showing itself fully.
But the command panzer is trying to take out the Cromwell.
I think the Cromwell Mark V might have a good shot at that. If it doesn't show its ass like that.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think the Cromwell Mill will get out of there, luckily.
Soviet player tries to get mostly T-34s to try to swarm with tanks.
And seeing as his rifle, I would perhaps have suggested going for a KV-1, potentially. The KV-1...
I always found KV-1 a big investment as rifle.
Yeah, it generally is a big investment, but it is very heavily armored.
Yes. But the fuel you put for it, I usually just go for a B4.
Oh, we have a cannon bomb coming in the Panzer IV F1. Oh, cannon bomb stunned it, but didn't kill it.
Oh, that's sad.
That's gonna allow the T-34 to take the kill.
Back.
And the Lux is now in trouble because the T-34 is present. And the Lux is out of control. Some big losses there for the Germans in quick succession.
Oh, this conscript are trying to kill the Raktenwerfer.
And I think with the MG-15 they might be able to. Oh, the MG-15 had to reload. There we go.
Oh, they dropped the last model. Oh, but Angriff Trooper are coming.
Yep, and in that cover position they'll kill anything out in the open here with that FG.
Also we can see both of the German players went from Comcraft Center and are getting more and more experienced troops.
It's very good to see the Comcraft Center being used because it's a new addition to the mod, and it's good to see people are utilizing it. Okay, that is another dead Grenadier squad. Looks like the Germans are taking very heavy Grenadier losses.
Yes, but the Soviets seems to be not very efficient against the tanks descent.
True.
This Panzer 4H has been sitting here and harassing the Soviet lines.
High explosive being loaded by the T-34. That's not like a howitzer.
assault.
Oh, that's an assault barrage or a heavy barrage. Okay.
Ready to move out.
Do we have anything else for the British coming out? Yes, we have land mattresses.
Oh, finally some artillery. Unfortunately for the Fallschirmjäger player, artillery is one of their weaknesses.
Oh yeah, and especially the land matches. The land matches, I believe, might be a little bit too overtuned in my own honest thoughts.
The problem with the current Mag player is that the fact that he didn't fought much makes him pretty CP starved compared to the state of the game. Like he would likely to get now a 15 centimeter gun, but yet he doesn't have the CP.
Oh yeah.
I think it's.
Oh, Molotov going in the Panzer 4H.
Yes. It only damages it. Panzer 4H seems to be the strategy for the Fallschirmjäger player.
Well, they don't really get any heavier tanks, so they'll have to do with what they have.
Yes.
Land matches is opening fire.
Oh, but there's two of them.
Yeah, but oh, it's white phosphorus.
Oh. Actually landed right on the pack gun.
Yeah, but not the machine gun.
It's living. Oh, Stoßtruppen with 4 STGs.
Yeah,
Yes.
the stormtroopers. I already mentioned that earlier. Oh, but it looks like the Germans are preparing to push through the northern flank. Double Panzer 4H. Looks like some artillery is being called in by the Soviets. Looks like it's fake artillery. Okay, and that's gonna buy them some time. Because the Germans have fallen for it, so they're pulling a little bit back just in case.
I mean, what the rifle player could do in this case is put up a BS3 maybe.
Oh,
it
and
would really stop out the tank advance.
oh, and the Cromwell went down. Panzer IV on the other flank took it out.
Yes. Seems like they just took the advantage of the number.
Yeah, it's not looking too good here, but the Allies are still holding on. It's not a complete stump, as some thought it would be.
Even though they don't have the right fuel, the left fuel is being a lot contested. Still, the Zit gun is harassing German troops.
Now, fortunately for the Allies, both the German commanders here don't get any heavy tanks, so they'll only have Panzer IVs at the heaviest, I believe.
Yes.
So theoretically, I think the KV-1 could be a really good counter to them. And it looks like Tomato Juice is taking Armored Fist, so you might see a KV-1.
Yes, it seems like he's intending to deploy KV-1s, even though the deployment of KV-1s is very slow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Ostwind is attacking.
Oh, the French resistance!
Trenches.
The French resistance has arrived with a stolen Panzer IV-H.
Oh, I'm happy to see that.
Oh, it's so rare we get to see the French resistance being used.
Oh, the T-44 is destroying the husband. But the mechanized player is pushing with his sponsor.
Yeah, but I think the Panzer IV-H might be a little bit of a surprise for the Germans when they see it.
Oh, but the T-44 is flanking too.
Oh, very good play there from the Allies. Let's hope it pays out. Yeah, Panzer IV down, and now T-44 can keep flanking.
They are overwhelming the Panzers.
Meanwhile, the Wehrmacht is trying to push in the other flank, though. But it's not working out immediately as they fall, I think. Looks like the French resistance is being armed with LMG-42s.
Soviet player is still seeming. He's not doing any cover though. He's just standing waiting for enemy tanks.
That's probably not the best thing. You need to at least be in some kind of cover. But
Fallschirmjäger just keep pushing for now.
But there is a lot of Soviet troops there, so that's a lot of rifles.
Oh, see, the mechanized pack gun just took out the driver of the Panzer.
Yeah, I think
it was a turret. Turret traversed.
Yeah, I think that the Panzer IV has to pull back for repairs. And I think the French resistance is all gonna get out of there. Yeah.
Oh, artillery on the Zis guns.
Oh, Wehrmacht, not. Soviets trying to push up on FT-42s. That's not working out for them.
Yes, even with the grenade. Oh. Oh, that was a risky bet for the Angriff Trooper.
His freeze opening up, but they're not able to penetrate the. There we go. They penetrated one, but no, assistants are
like
gone.
a lot of crew. This push might be one of the last.
Yeah, unless the Soviets can somehow get a KV, they actually only need manpower. So the KV could actually be a thing.
Yeah,
That's a very brave T-34,
indeed.
and it's gone.
Yes.
Land match is going in
Oh, but
with white phosphorus.
it was an unusual choice given the situation. I would have went for a heavy barrage to try to take out the tank.
It is.
Rockets are still very powerful.
It is stunning the tanks.
Yes, but unfortunately not doing much more. Oh, but Ghost went for an AEC.
Oh, we also have some heavy artillery going in. 15 centimeter.
15 centimeter. Oh, 15 centimeter is actually counter-barraging the land mattress.
Ah, okay. Good to see.
Yeah, land mattress is destroyed. So mechanized stacks still pushing.
AC has been
Wow.
decrewed.
While the Fallschirmjäger eventually pushed back, they already lost the tank. And they don't have troops on the front, actually.
Let's see, and the French resistance at the command is not going to be able to hold their flank for much longer, I think. Oh, they actually self-destructing their forward assembly.
Yeah. Oh, but if they stay close, it might be
Oh,
bad
no,
for
no, no,
them.
no, 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 he's gone. Oh, it has no explosion. It just disables. Okay. But that's a Gewaltladung on all those troops. Actually, did not do that much.
Oh, it suppressed a bit. Oh, and the last Panzer is destroyed for the Fallschirmjägers.
So the Soviets have somehow pushed through. They destroyed all the Fallschirmjägers' Panzer IVs.
Yeah, I think they should securize way more quickly their territory. I think what they lack here is information. Oh, but an MG is advancing.
We have a new Panzer IV.
Now, they still have that Panzer IV-H, so hopefully that thing can actually help them hold for a while.
Oh, the MG is retreating.
10 Mthis are pushing up. They might actually secure that munitions point here shortly. That's gonna be a big issue for the British.
The British are trying to reinforce right now, I think.
Yeah, Panzer IV-H needs to be a little bit careful though.
The enemy cut our supply line. Combat unit ready.
Oh, that's another Cromwell for the British.
Ready to move out.
It's cool though to see the French resistance. I don't think I've seen them for a very, very long time.
Dead.
I mean, the MG34s they can get is pretty good. I think it's MG34.
MG42 and the French resistance, by the way.
Oh, 42. That's even better.
I don't think the British can hold on for long. I really think the Soviets should invest in a in that KV-1 I was talking about, especially with all the Panzer IVs coming their way soon.
Or in a giant anti-tank gun.
True, but,
It's
but that thing would just be a target for the 15 centimeter. Panzer IV-H is trying to hold the line here. It has to turn its gun on
The
the...
marking vehicle. If it
Oh,
penetrates.
oh! Yeah, ammo rack.
Marked vehicle.
Lord, a tank's been lost.
Did you see an ammo rack?
No, I just... If it blows up instantly, I can assume it's an ammo rack.
No, I think it was because
mark,
Panzer
yeah.
has pretty high damage, and thanks to the mark, it went off pretty fast.
Cromwell's trying to push up very aggressively.
Oh, but the 15 centimeter is firing at the Russian lines to finish them off.
Cromwell's down.
Blasted swines just knocked out a vehicle.
Yeah, the French resistance will not last long against that. Just on the trenches, good move.
Oh, and another AT gun down by from the Soviets. They're losing a lot of ground.
Oh. That was a heavy blow for the tank, but it's still alive.
The Soviets are very least showing that tenacity. Like, the Soviets can bounce back from a lot of things. The British cannot bounce back as easily. Because the Soviets still... Yeah, he's getting the KV-1 now. Okay, let's see if that actually will help them. Because the KV-1 should be very good at dealing with Panzer IVs. Because the Panzer IVs might not have a big enough gun to penetrate it reliably at long range.
But yeah, the KV-1 has a bad gun itself.
Yeah, it has the same gun as the T-34. Was the Soviets in a full retreat back to base? I wonder why. Probably a misclick. Or they might be planning to push together. But the Allies have lost a lot of territory, so they have to be very careful.
I think the game might end soon.
And I'm hoping to see the KV-1 will at least try to do something. Panzer IV is being repaired on the north there. British troops are still recuperating.
Not capping all the points. There's still a point not being capped, even if it's not linked.
KV-1 is...
but what is that cheeky commando officer doing right here on the right?
Yeah, I think he might have been forgotten about. Also, he's not infiltrating apparently. Oh, because
he's out of the battlefield, so they can't really attack them.
Huh. How fascinating. But we have a KV-1 and a Cromwell with a howitzer on the field. So you'll need to see how that turns out. Because the 15 centimeter is definitely going to be a problem. Oh, Stukas Fus also fired. Bombing the Allies' base.
Yes, I just heard that.
But the KV-1 has not been detected, I think. So I think once the Germans see the KV-1, they'll need to try and get rid of that thing as soon as possible.
Oh, counter barrage for the SFH.
Explosive being aimed at the Fallschirmjägers. Did not hit. Panzer IV-H is going straight for the KV-1. He did not penetrate. The KV-1 needs to be in a position... Oh! Ammo rack on one of the Panzer IV-H's thanks to the SIS-3. The KV-1 is providing a lot of shielding for the Soviet infantry here. He needs to be very cautious as he moves up with it. He wants to stay at range against the Panzer force. That's why his armor will be the most effective.
Supply sector under attack.
Ah, he's not hitting. Oh, good shot there from the SIS-3. That's gonna force that Panzer IV to step back. The KV-1 is definitely gonna allow the Soviets to get some breathing space, I think. It's
Yet again another pushback.
Yeah, it's so far doing a good job.
We're ready for orders.
Oh, but his assault Fallschirmjägers waiting might be
quite
lethal to the Soviet advance.
Yeah, those Fonsoviki squads are gonna have to get it in another angle.
Opponents are seizing a sector.
Looks like a Molotov is going out. But it's hitting the bushes. Panzer IVs are preparing, they want to deal with that KV.
It bounces again.
And the KV only has the same gun as the T-34, so it's not a miracle worker, but it has very good armor. Oh! penetration. Heavy one's in trouble.
Yes. Just using all these tanks.
All of our troops have been lost.
And that goes. That's a problem.
So we had some more and more entrenching. That's bad for them.
Yeah, I don't think the allies can hold. They need to find a way to push out because the 15 centimeter will just be able to bomb them in the base.
Actually, 15 centimeters has not yet been used to bomb. It only has been left in counter barrage.
Probably afraid of any land mattress again.
Oh, so Cromwell is advancing.
Probably to try and help against the Panzer Force here.
Yeah, but it's
Oh!
an infantry support Cromwell, so...
Yeah, but the howitzer did actually destroy the tracks in one.
Oh, it was a Piat?
Yeah, the
Who
Piat.
almost killed the tank.
The Piat is not bad if it can hit. It's just it has to hit. Like that.
Tank destroyed.
Oh, stolen Panzerfaust and one of the Panzerfaust.
Neutralize infantry.
Oh, we have a commando camp being established in the rear. You know what that commando camp was?
Oh, he said he's going for a sniper. That's unusual.
Commando sniper
That
team.
situation.
Send orders. Waiting. We're ready for orders. What do you need?
And the Soviets have run out of stuff, though. That's a bad thing.
Tank ready and waiting.
The Germans have the tanks. They just need to build up the bravery to roll in.
Somebody shoot us.
I think they're gonna break their way in with artillery.
Oh, another good Piat shot right there.
No, will we please?
Took some foot shots going in. I think. Yeah, there they are.
Oh, he's running the smoke round. Land mattress firing. It fires to the Stukas actually.
Yeah, they probably want to try and get rid of it somehow, but...
Oh, it was a counter barrage, but it didn't hit. Oh, and now it's a 15 centimeters bombarding in base.
And we do have some commandos building up in the rear, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. It's yeah, he's actually demolishing the camp.
Oh, more Fallschirmjägers are coming to clean up the infantry.
T-34 pushing out, very brave of it.
Enemy is attacking our HQ.
Yeah, the pack, the Panzer Force already opening fire. And Panzerfaust might be going in. No, he did not.
No.
But I'm still surprised the Allies are holding on.
Yes.
We also have a major coming in here for the British.
Would the matter turn the game around? I don't think so.
Oh,
He can barely do a strike.
looks like the commanders did try to push on the flank here, but they are retreating into a death zone now.
Our headquarters are under fire.
Yeah, that's not good. They're all gonna die.
Oh. Sector barrage in front of the base. They're denying the zone.
Oh.
Doing more Panzer Force for the mechanized player.
The Allies have just run out of stuff.
Oh, but Soviet player is going out for another charge.
Looks like the commando sniper is doing some damage though in the rear, surprisingly.
We've lost an officer in action.
But the Allied base is basically entirely encircled at this point.
Standing to. Let's get this battle won.
Yes, they've lost approximately all points. And two guys denied them the last point.
Yep. It really just is that the Germans are refusing to go in and end it now, for some reason. They have the power to do it.
Clearly. Oh, yet again. dominating and firing.
Still lots of Soviet infantry about. And there they go.
Luke is back.
Looks like the Allies
It's a
surrender.
surrender.
Good match, though. They lasted a lot longer than I thought they would.
Yes, that's very good for him.
It's a very good game.